Karantz, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mind shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renaigse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go.
my child. What can we do for you?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditions. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Falristal. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth. All these broods, they aren't worth tuppence.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stones speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadeg's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it. Strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
This workshop was devastated on purpose.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Duncass's clan. He is the respected leader of the village of Vegigado. Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
I'd like to speak to you. Bertir Tumad, thank you for coming to talk to me. You are on Olmanawi, but you also look like a Lugaid Blau.
Lugaid Blau? Is that what you call the congregation?
Yes, those who have yellow eyes on their banner.
They're coins. But to answer your question, yes. I'm the legate of the congregation.
Is legate the Renaigse word for on Olmanawi?
No. It means that I am in charge of diplomatic relationships with the other nations.
So I was right. You will be able to help us. Some of your clan are preventing us from accessing one of our sacred glades.
Really? Why would they do that?
Several seasons ago, some men from your clan came to ask us for wood for their houses. There were some old trees in this glade, so we let them do what they wanted. At first, everything was fine. But then they cut down too many trees. So we wanted to heal the place, plant some new trees, but they won't let us come close. Their bod irony, their warriors, are stopping us from doing so.
I could investigate.
Yes, please. You must tell them that they have to let us heal the glade.
Bertir Tumad. I am Dunkas, the Mal and the Done god of the Yigido. You're very strange for Renaigse. Who are you?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
You are a Lugaid Blau? Oh, I didn't know there were on Almanawi amongst them. They may not be so different from us, after all. What brings you here on Almanawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well. Is there anything else?
What can you tell me about your clan?
We are the Beraig Nodas, the bearers of lifeblood. We earned this name by bringing the trees and the earth back to life, by restoring balance.
There are a lot of Onol Manawi here.
It is true. We were already healing the earth before the bond existed. The bond just made us better. Many of us have chosen to follow this path because we are proud of our role amongst our brothers. Our village is home to the largest amount of Donegada, along with Maybe Vishkadir. Is there anything else?
What do you think of the settlers from the continent?
I think they behave like naughty, unruly children. They take what they want and break what they own without even understanding what they are doing. But they can learn and grow. And who would kill unruly children for being mischievous? Is there anything else?
Tell me about your village.
We used to be nomads. We would go wherever Tia Freddy needed us until we healed the place. But the people of the sea came and hurt this place so much that my people had to stay here for a long time. For so long that they created this village, Vigigido, the place of the healed wound. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalum seg.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free, and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
In that case, maybe we should tell the priests about your hideout. How about that?
Why would you do that? They would kill me.
I cannot believe you would say that.
This man's hatred of the settlers has made him blind. That he'd rather let his village fall into their hands than help us. He leaves me no choice.
Here, take this damned bark and leave me alone. Leave!
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iseult. Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here. And even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us, and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
You are nothing but manipulators and liars, and you will leave this village by will or by force.
You dare to threaten us? Us, the emissaries of the Enlightened?
We will not abandon our sacred mission, even if we have to fight for it.
Do you think you can face a woman of
Things are about to get dicey.
Do you think you can face a woman of faith?
Things are about to get dicey.
I am glad I avenged their affront to our mother. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir. Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I think I understand. Your island, your culture, and your faith are so closely tied that you cannot renounce one without renouncing the others.
Exactly. The earth talks to us because we believe in it, in its spirits. Without these beliefs, we would be but empty shells. Our mother would never have wanted that for us. I am happy to see that you understand us so well. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not on Olmenawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
I have no trouble believing it. And I'm glad that out of the two sisters, it's the gentler one who is by my side now.
Gentler? Really? The lion soldier on the battlefield would not have agreed. Anything else?
I must pass the trial of water. Do you know anything about it?
I have heard it talked about. It is a trial that all must pass if they wish to become the High King. One says that the trial reveals the true personality of those who pass it. My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later. Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep. Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep. You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight. Faurende dara grimme derem dam. Faurende dara grimme derem dam. Faurende dara grimme derem dam. Watch out, Anadai! You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you, no?
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree. I was something else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting cold. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? Here, this looks like a snowflake. The snow, or maybe ice. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. and I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated, and I was suddenly with you again.
Karans, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Alas, I have other urgent tasks I must take care of before I can accompany you.
I understand, but do not take too long. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later. I need a bit of practice. This must be the seal that Glendan spoke of. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tearfredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einar Mílfrichtemann.
Bertir to Mad on Ormanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tearfredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the Dosantats. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of rules and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Einar Mílfrichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince them as well. Where can I find them?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Deirdre, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
My mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes. I heard about your loss, Siora. And divorced Tirce. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirce. Thank you, Glendan.
Deirdre is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I've already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Didekidan Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa'awalamsek. I hope that you will find him.
Karans, I must return to my village to prepare my mother's funeral. But fear I won't have the strength to do it without the help of a friend. Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go.
Siora, Asir. Always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iselt. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iselt, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly.
Come and taste my saber! Come and taste my saber! Come and taste my saber!
We are approaching Vasrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual. Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean? She's right. Something isn't quite normal.
There. Hanglands. This is not their natural habitat at all. We cannot leave them here, so close to the burial mound. See any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to my mother's remains.
about to get dicey!
These beasts will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some censers crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
Karantz, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand? There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Honor Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. Oh, these rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karantz, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed, conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living. Karans, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now? Will you become the Dunegad of your clan again?
I will most likely do it, but not now. I still have a lot to discover by your side.
I hope that you do not feel constrained to do so. I would completely understand if you had to go back to your people.
You are a noble-hearted man, and a true Onol-Manawi. Do not worry. I'm not staying because I feel constrained to do so, but because I like being with you all. And especially with you. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Things are about to get dicey.
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord D'Orsay's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord D'Orsay has been attacked.
He believes? He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes, sir.
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway, if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events. But know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The Islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By Islander, do you mean the Denegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes. A strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, sir. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the Islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. But I could show you where I was posted. The Islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Denegad?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that Islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition, but your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into? Again?
I am sorry, sir, but I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Dismissed, soldier. Looks like I'm going on an expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Clarence, I am glad you came to talk to me. I have something to ask you.
I'm listening.
What do the women on your island do when they really like someone? Everything is so complicated where you come from.
In my culture, we do not talk about our feelings. Especially not amongst nobles. Marriages are arranged more often than not.
I knew it. Never mind. I'll do it my way. Your body and your soul are speaking with mine on Almanawi. And if you feel the same way, I would love to spend some time alone with you.
I would love that too. Meet me outside my room the next time we're at the house.
I will be there. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later. This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It wasn't a landslide that did this, but combat. A deadly one. I sure hope our little governor has escaped the carnage.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws, and there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantine or Catasac's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Catasac and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Catasac wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Catasac have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantine nor Catasac are among them. A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. Constantine and Catasac must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames.
Move away! Things are about to get nice!
More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from?
These are coin guard. But I couldn't tell you if they served the Bridge Alliance or Teleme.
More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Katasach. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's... According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual. But they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wen Xavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
I doubt that the Alliance would have decided to openly attack their ally. Don't forget that they owe their continued presence on the island to you.
And thanks to you, I know. But their men were there, on the cliff. And Constantine is no longer among us. Maybe those men are still loyal to the preceding commander. However, one way or another, Constantine is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.